Good evening and welcome to MC Live, the monthly opportunity for our ministerial family across the ABC world to gather for equipping, inspiring, encouraging one another. We're so glad that you're here tonight. I'm Reverend Jackie Belayo, and I serve on the national leadership team of the Ministers' Council. Glad to often host or co host these sessions. Always an important opportunity to bless and be blessed with one another and in one another's company. I want to remind you that we are recording tonight's session, and so if you'd prefer for your photograph or sound to not be captured in that way, just feel free to monitor your own device throughout the hour. I want to welcome tonight Reverend Erica Van Brakel, our colleague who is prepared to share with us her heart for being a passionate connector and the particular season and context in which she serves us. Erica is the Director for Ministry Life and the American Baptist Personnel Services. Ministry Life is ABHMS's social networking platform, and American Baptist Personnel Services, the computer-based data storage and retrieval system that helps us do the soul things of expressing our gifts and creations, connecting with others, searching for God's next place. I'm going to turn it to Erica very shortly and let her share more about her sense of vocation and call to this work. Whatever you might say, Erica, about the background that brought you to this work, and then transition right into an overview of these platforms and how God's designed them to serve us. There'll be plenty of time during our session for Q&A. In fact, Erica's prepared for that, desiring that. But also, if you'd like to drop a question in the chat box, I'll be helping to monitor that. Erica, I'm going to toss it back to you.
Well, thank you. It's great to be back to have this session. Again, we did a first session about a year ago. And so I am really excited to join you now in my new role as Director of Ministry Life in ABPS. I do have a huge passion for this particular ministry. My background originates from both ministry and television production, and I served in both roles in the news industry in Washington, D.C., and Boston and Kansas City, and then attended seminary. And actually, I'm back in seminary now doing my DMin in creative leadership. And I am just thrilled that God has worked God's wonderful way to take these two pieces of my life, which God always knew were going to be one at some point. And this is where I'm at, and absolutely just thrilled beyond belief to be a part of ABHMS and this work, because it uses both of those skill sets that I come to the table with. I've served in roles, various roles, did chaplaincy work, pastor, youth pastor. I loved it all, and it definitely feeds into my ability to work alongside with my colleague Reverend Meg Biddle. We have that ABHMS family language thing because we are ABC pastors, so there's not a learning curve there. We speak the language already, and so it has just been a wonderful time. But I want to just jump right in and start this overview with you. So I'm going to come in here and share my screen, and we will get started here. All right, so here is the Ministry Life platform, and I'm going to move this over here. All right, and so if you are already a member of ABPS, because you already have a profile at some point or time in time, at any point, believe it or not, we've had people who have come on after not updating their profile for 20 years. It's here. It's just 20 years old and have come on and updated their information. So we will talk about that. But this is where you will start to either log in or register. And so once you've logged in, you can then go to any of the sections. If you're already here, I'm just going to jump into the home page and just give kind of this brief overview of the platform. So you're going to come in here to the home tab, and this tab features your feed, your profile, and your network. So your feed is unique to you, because the way we get the information, or what you will find here, is based upon what you decide you want to be involved in and with on the platform. So you're not going to get every community's latest article or post or what have you video. You're going to get the ones that you have actually said, I want to be a member of. So that will show up right here in the center. Articles will show up. So the news articles, your articles, the devotional, our passionary devotion will show up here, as well as articles from the Christian Citizen. So that is what is here in your feed. You are able to come in here and share, and if you click on here, you're able to see that you can either share with all of your connections at once, or you can actually come in here and click private. This will allow you to isolate the groups that you have decided, the communities that you've decided to participate in, and or the people that you are already connected with. And we're going to show you what that really means and how to do that. So that is a wonderful thing. You can just, bounce in here to the homepage and bam, share articles, share resources, videos, any ideas right here. And that's going to show up then on the feed of the folks that you have indicated. So let me click profile, because this is a key piece here. Everybody on the Ministry Life platform has a basic profile. Now, it is a part of your full profile, your ABPS basic profile and your ABPS profile, if you choose to have an ABPS profile. But your basic profile, these 5 elements will be able to have, everybody has it. Everybody on the platform has it, and you're able to share with people. Now, one of the things I will say is, if you come in here and you look at it, like I'm looking at mine, there are certain things that I have actually made private that I can still see here in my link. But if I was to, for example, if my friend Meg here was to log on, she wouldn't be able to see my address, because that's one of the things that I have personally made private. And I'll show you how to do that. But this is the area where people are going to be able, and I'm going to come down here, the ministry specialties, to really be able to connect with you. So ministry specialties now mean something more than just what you put on your ABPS profile. Those are the things that you're really passionate in ministry about, and others can come and see what you're passionate and excited about. And they may choose to try to connect with you, to be able to have some discussions, or, to be able to network with you. Speaking of network, we're going to click in here to network with somebody. If you click here, you're going to be able to see some of my connections here. To network with somebody, you can just come up here and search for their name. So I'm going to come up here and put Jackie, and
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm not sure if we're connected yet.
You're going to see how undersubscribed I am. So,
oh my goodness.
Help me.
There she is. So see how I want to connect with Jackie. So I'm going to come here and push connect. And then that's going to have me come in here where I can see her information. Now, see, I can tell she hasn't updated her profile in a while, because she has her latest experience in her ministry specialties listed as 2014. That's very common. A lot of us, you remember in the old 3-year cycle, as soon as you had that free update, the following year, that information was already going to be old. Now you can come in and update it every year. And you can always change this information. So I'm going to reach out to her by just simply clicking this connect button. And then you'll notice that it says connect requested on her. And when she logs on, she'll see that I have asked to connect with her, and she'll be able to confirm. So that is how you do it. And then let me go show you one of the reasons why you'll want to do this as well. So if you click show profile with somebody who you have connected with, and you come down to their ministry specialties, you'll notice that you have this rating here and it lights up. That's because you have the ability to actually rate that person if you know them and their skill sets. So there are times when you're going to connect with somebody who you've never seen preach, but they may have preaching listed as, their number 1 ministry specialty. That's fine. You don't have to rate all of their ministry specialties, but let's say you have seen that person, you may then go in and actually give them a rating. Over time, this rating then will be based upon your network, your larger network. And that can be something that's really, really helpful. And we'll get into that a little bit more when we talk about the employee section here in a minute. But that networking piece is really at some of the heart and soul of the platform. We're going to move into extend because I'm going to try to be as brief as I can, but I can do an hour-long overview. So I want to make sure I just keep it brief and allow us to get to the Q&A because that is really something I want to get to because I know some of you guys have been on the platform. So Ministry Life is powered by Zoom. That is one of the things that we have as a part of our tool set here. And so one of the nice things about our particular connection with Zoom is you have the ability to use the Zoom platform that allows you to see all of the bells and whistles and change all of your settings. You also can simply use the kind of simplified tools that Zoom has here on the platform and schedule your meetings. So if you're just doing some standard meetings, easy peasy, and your settings are good to go and you don't really change your settings a lot, you can go ahead and use this as where you are able to schedule your meetings. It's really clean and really simple that way. Then you have an activity dashboard, which just shows you some analytics of what you have used. We have podcasts on the platform. And so this is going to be a section that over the next couple of years, you're really going to see some growth. There's some planning that we are doing in particular, but we already have 8 on the platform, and that's going to really explode, I know, in the next couple of years. This is also a place where you can find what we call our conferences. This is really our webinars where you're able to, the asynchronous and synchronous language that we are now all starting to become familiar with. This is where we put the information asynchronously after we have an event. So if you weren't able to attend a Justice Dialogues discussion or a webinar, or you wanted to access the video resources from America for Christ and other programs that are in webinars, you're able to come in here. Space for Grace, you'll notice, is here, and you're able to view those. That's also going to be in the Enlighten section as well. Digital signature tool is a really handy tool that I'll talk a little bit about when we get into the employee section. Then survey. This is really fun. You can come up here and create surveys. This is not just an admin button that I have. If you log on to your own account, you'll have this and you can post. We'll click into one here. So you're able to create these surveys and you're able to do it with emotions, is I think what we call that, or you can do a straight up yes or no, and then you're able to see the results. Those also post globally on the feed in your homepage as well. And then global search is the same tool as up here that you can engage in at any point. You can put anything you might be looking for, topic, person, anything can go up there. Then this is really the heart of our home here, our communities. Again, you have the ability to create your own community. So let's say you had a local group that you wanted to be able to have, basically a digital community, a digital space and platform. And let's say that local group, also say Jackie and I, we have been in a women's group in Chicago for a while. And so we could choose to take it online and have our own space, and we're able to make it private. You also have the ability to have public, closed, or anonymous groups. So we have all types of groups on the platform, and you can go ahead and create any type of community your heart desires. So a lot of times folks will have something that might have a cohort addition to it, and they'll have a program space where they might talk about a particular subject. For example, the Justice Dialogues. They have the public page here, but then they might have a cohort that does a breakout session to plan for the next dialogue, and they'll have that as a private group. So you can come on here and create your groups, and you can see some of the different groups that have already been established. You might want to connect with the chaplains and counselors group. You may want have questions about ABPS. So there's all sorts of different groups that you can
Yeah.
participate in.
Erica,
Yeah.
Erica, yeah, I did want you to on purpose scroll down
Yes.
that list. Give us a sense of the number of groups and kind of the diversity of that.
Oh goodness. Let's see. We have 7 pages worth at this
Yeah.
point. So
Oh,
we have lots and lots of group. Our biggest group. I don't actually know what our total is right now. Our largest group. We're really excited to have the Proctor Conference. They actually held their conference a couple weeks ago on the Ministry Life platform, and so the Mbangi community is here, and it has, as you can see, 323 members to the group. So you can join that if you're a part of Proctor. Come in here if you're a part of Ministry Life and join the Mbangi group and the Mbangi network through the community section as well. And then, ABC chaplains and counselors. I mean, there are just a whole lot of different groups that are a part of the platform at this point. Then discussions is very similar to the survey, except for this is intended to be more of a long form kind of question and answer. So you're able to put up a question. So, for example, I put up, marking time, specifically asking folks, what are you doing in particular about marking this 1-year anniversary of the COVID-19 pandemic with your congregation. So someone can come in here and they can write, and then post, and then you'll see the information. You also can then share it on your Twitter or your Facebook or your LinkedIn as well. And you, of course, can like it. So you can, again, come in here and create a topic. There's no cost to this. This is not special because I have administrative privileges. This is something that you can do. And so I encourage you to do so. Events will be another thing. We will be installing the event button for everybody to add the events that are happening. You can see here on the side some of these events that have happened here recently. And we are going to be adding that event button so everyone is able to put on their events on the platform. Then equip is our section that is rapidly expanding. This is our section where we are putting up resources, and there will be quite a few upgrades to this section here in this first quarter. We're really excited about this. So this is where you can find a whole variety of topics. And then if you click into any of these subjects, there will be PDF information, a wide variety of information. Here's one I'll click into: Ministry with Seniors. Right now, we have a great Lenten Journey series here from the Rhode Island region. So ABC Rhode Island, and I love they talk about themselves as being people in the third of life, and these are actually written by folks who are in that third of life. And in fact, I just got the new ones, and I'm going to be posting those up here. So this is, again, a space where we will be adding the ability for you to upload those resources and share with your colleagues. Educational grants that's our space, which will be also really taking off here in the latter part of 2021 into 2022. You'll see a lot of new information here, but just as a reminder, you can still get continuing education grants from ABHMS, and you're able to do that application process right here. Then I'm going to take you over here to Enlighten and just give you a top line view here of Enlighten. This is our area where we have our mentors. So if you are willing to be a mentor, you can click on that black bar that I just clicked out of and join as a mentor. Again, you'll notice that importance of your profile, that basic profile piece right here, because it's going to show you right up top here that first thing that you're really interested in about, and you're able to scroll through. A quick example I always give is, let's say you're a clergy person who is doing a capital campaign for the first time in your church, and you would really benefit from having somebody to talk to, somebody who might be willing to coach you through and kind of walk with you in this season. You can come on here and search. You can come up here and search mentors. You can search by topic, and that's going to pop up. And so then you're able to find somebody who might have a church administration and finance, passion, and you can connect with them, and they are then able to do some mentoring and coaching. So that's another piece that we're excited about. Conferences, which I've highlighted, again, are the webinars that you can take a look at asynchronously. Video on demand, we are actually going to be adding another page so that we have video on demand, which you yourself can come up and create and upload a video. And we're going to expand the types of videos that you can upload, in addition to having training on demand, which is what you see here in front of you. I don't expect that you're going to learn everything in one session or even two. So I've created a whole lot of videos that are about 2 or 3 minutes on specific topics. So if you have a specific question, you're able to come in here and watch that training video, and hopefully your question will be answered. Professional resources, a good way to think of this is a professional directory. So here you can link. What we've tried to do is where we know that there are some ABC connections, such as Erica Marksberry, who is a pastor out west. She also does some writing for Illustrated Ministry, which happens to be a Chicago connection of mine. So the person who started, Adam, started Illustrated Ministry when we were actually living in the same general location in Chicago, and we watched him build and grow this company. And then Eric joined as a writer, so we make those connections. But these are also resources that come from you, so you can always make recommendations. You'll notice there's the Ministers Council, and we have been specific of making sure that the Code of Ethics, which is a document really important and near and dear to our hearts, obviously, is right here in all of the different languages. And so people are then able to come in here, rate, look at the information. And this is a section that we know will continue to grow. So you can come and make a recommendation on a resource, and this will just continue to grow, and we'll probably have to reformat this a little because I envision that it will be really, really big here. And then obviously I want to point out one quick thing here, the latest news. Here's how, by the way, if you click on this, you'll be able to send us that information on a link that you have that you would recommend for professional resources. Latest news is where you can view the articles that have been posted, the devotionals that have been posted. You can see the different writers who have been posting. And you will be able to also post articles. That's another addition that is coming soon. And then the one we get, of course, the most questions about is the employee section, because this is where the ABPS profile lives. This is where you have 100% control over your profile. So you have your basic profile, the first 5: personal information, contact information, ministry specialty, education, and work history. And then after you complete the first 5, then you're able to go into your ABPS profile, all of our alphabet soup. And the evening is late, or the hour is late, so all of our language here tripping me up a little bit. But we are able to you're able to go into each one of these and completely update. You'll notice some new changes, the ability to add a photo, to add links. You'll notice that you have the ability to add a personal summary, a 2 to 3 sentence kind of elevator speech about you and your ministry and your area of passion. And then this is also something that you can utilize to kind of tease into your links as well. Now that we all have links to us preaching and everything, that can be uploaded very easily. And then in your narrative, which is now a separate page. So if you're familiar with the old ABPS layout, that narrative has been taken off of the one pager and is a separate page in and of itself. And so we can talk about that a little bit more in just a bit. Profile options is a section. If you forget, we used to have that big thick booklet. If you forget what all of the different options are, you can just come in here and click and you're able to view those as well. You'll notice like the ministry specialties category is a little bit more in depth here. So you're able to come in here and kind of look at this as an overview. You can also download it as a PDF if you wish. One of my favorite pieces is this job board that we have. So here is our job board where you're able to come in, and you'll notice that the job board is fresh. This was posted 3 hours ago, a day ago. There's some that have been on for a while. So this is, you can come on here and just about every day or every week for sure see a new job being posted. So you come in here and you click into the position and you are able to see the professional specialties that are needed. That's your ministry specialties. So those are going to be questions that match what you're looking for, full-time education, that may be part-time or open as well. Then you can come down here, take a look at what their community descriptor is, and then a fuller, more rich job description. And then sometimes they also include, if they've created a PDF file of their church kind of profile, then that is often linked in here as well. You'll also see those similar posts for jobs that are similar to the one you've clicked in. And if it's of interest to you, all you have to do is click apply. And that's it. All of your profile information will then be sent directly to the contact person, which is, of course, the regional person. So I'm going to come back here. For right now, this has a lot of obviously church-centered work. In this next year, you will see that the chaplains and specialized ministers process will be moving onto the platform. So the endorsement process will be on here, and that profile will be just like our ABPS profile. So we're really excited about onboarding that process, and therefore we will have a job board which will include jobs for specialized ministry folks like counseling and chaplaincy and all sorts of different pieces, as well as my own personal project. I'm very excited about getting internships and residency opportunities up as well. So you're going to see a real explosion of different types of ministry roles now being offered on the job boards. So we're really excited about that. The organizational directory is every organization and church that is in our database. So you can look at different organizations. If you click into the organization or the church, you're then able to see the contact information, what they've included about themselves and their website, or sometimes their Facebook page. All right. That is the fastest overview I think I can do. So I'm really
That was pretty fast.
I know I just flew through that, but I'm really interested in getting your questions. I'm going to stop sharing here for a minute.
Yeah, let's stop for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good, very good. That was fast and thorough, and I would just recognize and acknowledge that perhaps some of us have been on a little bit or a lot in the past. Embarrassed to say, yes, my profile was last updated in 2014. And also it's probable that those of us on the call tonight might have some questions more related to the job board and ABPS thing, or questions related to the networking and community thing. So let's just open it up, Erica, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, you want to? Okay, very good. So we're not going to direct your questions in any particular compartment of that impressive platform.
And we're just getting started.
Yeah, just maybe first, let's just invite any comments that people might have about it, just being refreshed and immersed in it. And then we'll move on to questions.
Sounds great.
If I just might make a comment, first of all, I am just blown away, excited to see what has happened with Ministry Life and ABPS. I mean, I came to this 30 years ago, was extremely frustrated
Mm.
with what we were doing, and with ABHMS and working with this. I used to have oversight for a lot of this, and to see what is happening here, I just think it is just it's amazing. So I'm just so grateful for what ABHMS is doing, what you're doing, Erica, and I think this is terrific. I might finally do my profile now.
Yay! You're not alone. Don't worry, you're not alone.
Yeah.
I might finally do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the fact that it's for more than just your ABPS. Like
Right.
everybody thinks of it as, oh well, I'm not looking for a job, so I don't need to have
Right.
it. Well, and now what we've said is no, it's bigger than that, and so that's really, really exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll add a comment thread related to that. On behalf of the Ministers' Council, you all may know that over the last 4 or 5 years, we've been on a journey to try to figure out the right ways to nurture a more horizontal sense, a more grassroots interconnection sense than perhaps our programs of years before that. And I have this sense that it's a parallel ethos going on under this vision of these platforms. The relationality that the infrastructure imagines. And wow, I haven't even dusted off the tip of the iceberg personally yet. I just have a great sense of gratitude for the desire that led to this.
Yeah, I am, Jackie. No, I am. Goodness, I'm so passionate about relationship building, and the denomination, and being with one another and sharing our resources. We're all aware of the challenges that we are facing locally, regionally, and nationally, and we have such an opportunity, in this case, through the use of technology, to share in such a rich way. What I envision is just a ever growing place where people can contribute that which they are doing in their ministry, and it's going to not only bless the congregation or the folks who they're doing ministry with in their specific context, but you never know when that information is shared, the blessing that comes from other people being able to utilize it in their own ministry context. To be able to speak into it, and shape it maybe in a way that needs to be personalized, but that we're able to plant a seed. We know, especially right now with the pandemic, one of my biggest fears every day, as I focus on providing as much as we can to help nurture that and resource. Pastors are overwhelmed. Anyone doing ministry right now, burnout is one of my biggest fears, and helping one another, by helping resource each other, but also by networking, in that relational piece of being able to just have a group of folks to be able to say, gosh, today I am just at my wits end. Today I was really hurt by somebody in my congregation who just didn't think I was, up to whatever expectation they may have of me. So it's a much more rich relational piece, and partnerships. That's oh my gosh, my excitement really lies in the partnerships that abound. One of our partnerships that I mentioned was, it came early. We didn't expect to have such a huge partnership so quickly, but with the Proctor Conference. So we actually, like I said, hosted their conference on our platform. 19,952 participants from 32 different countries. We had 0 security issues and we had 0 drops. So, when we've talked about the platform kind of like a Facebook, one of the things I always say is, yes, but here's the difference. We are really passionate about this being a secure place. We also want it to be a place where folks are having rich theological discussions, that you're able to go on and know that ministry professionals are here, not just everybody willy-nilly. This is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
for clergy, not just ordained clergy, but ministry professionals. And so it's our little corner of the web, so to speak.
So I do want to guard time for questions, whether
Yeah.
they're sort of bigger level conceptual questions or hands-on, what should I do next, Erica, questions. So let's
Well,
just,
where do I start?
where do I start?
That
Yes,
might be a good one.
or where do I start over?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you should all be able to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
I did do the mute from the controls at the beginning, but it looks like we're live. Who would like to
This is
start?
Wendy. I have a question, and I
Hi.
wanted to know, do I have to redevelop my page or update? What do I have to do now?
So the best thing to do is to just go onto the Ministry Life site, and then you'll get a box right there when you try to log on. It'll say, hey, do you have an ABPS profile? If so, enter the email address that we have on file. Now, we recognize that sometimes people go, uh-oh, I might have an email that I no longer have access to. No worries. Let us know here. I will share my screen just for a second to show you how you can easily get in touch. Meg is the person who you'll probably talk to, and she will be able to go and look and find what email it is. If you come down here to the bottom of the page, you'll always see that this FAQ and this help is available. If you click on help, you can come up here and just send us an email. I would say the best thing to do is just say, hey, I know I've got an ABPS profile. I don't have the email, or I don't remember, and give us your phone number. We'll give you a call and we'll get you all set up and we can walk you through it. That is no problem. Absolutely. But you don't have to reinvent the wheel. In fact, don't, because it'll just duplicate in the background for us and we'll have to go clean it up. So yeah, nope.
Thank
We'll be
you.
all set. Absolutely.
Erica, Sean is asking, is there an interface to seek and pull potential candidates for hire?
So the best, so if you have to be a part of regional staff to have those privileges. So for jobs, for job posting, and for retrieval of any profiles. That said, you can of course go look if you know some folks, or if you want to go, for example, and by a topic. Like you could put preaching into the global search, and then folks who have that as their #1 ministry specialty, you'll be able to look through those, and you'll be able to look at their basic profile. And if they have an ABPS profile, you'll be able to at least look at it. You also can, I should also mention this is one of those things that is just so common for me. I have to remind myself that it's a new thing for most. You can print your own profiles. You can print just your basic, you can print your ABPS, you can print everything on your own. You can also download it. So you can download it as a PDF and then send it off to somebody as well. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm with Greta. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Greta. Do you have another question?
Yeah, so I think they're all very brief, a few questions about the profile. That's really exciting to me. The expansion of the whole site is just so impressive. A little overwhelming in 10 minutes, but very impressive and exciting. But in regard to the profile, in November, December of 19, shortly before we went into COVID, the land of COVID, I updated my profile. And Wendy, I very easily got help with changing my email. I want to affirm that was very easy. If I recall correctly, I think then though I had to submit it and have it like reviewed and accepted. Whereas you sound now like it's very self-serve and I could go on because some things have changed in the past year. And I was like, oh, I can't go through all that again with the
absolutely
accepting part.
Yeah, let me talk about that. That's a great question. So I'm going to come back in here to employee. You can absolutely go in at any point and you can update any of your information. So even if you had to change one digit of, of something, you could come in here and change it.
Okay.
The difference is you'll notice up here, you see my picture and you see that little blue ribbon. So we still vet, we still do verifications. We still look to make sure you're a part of the ABCIS system. So that's your professional leadership standing. So whether you're ABC ordained, whether you're sponsored, whether you're licensed. So we go in and verify that information in the ABCIS system. We go and we verify your degrees as well as your work history. So those are the three pieces. When you submitted it for review, now what everybody will submit it for review. If you are in, and this is a good bridge, but I'm actually going to I'll talk more into this in a minute because I want to get through all of your questions. If you're actively looking, or if you are in your free 90-day trial to be able to try out all of the features that are both at cost, there's some things that do cost, like the Zoom piece, and I want to get into that because that's a really exciting piece, as well as all the free pieces on the site as well. If you are actively going to be looking for a new call, then you want to make sure that your profile is up to date and that it's been vetted and you have that blue ribbon. Because one of the difference is on this job board, the regions that are posting the positions, when they fill out the information, such as how, the ministry specialties, full or part-time, education, etc., what they indicate is whether they are going to only look at profiles of people who have an ABPS profile. So what does that mean? That means if you're a, let's say, choral director, right? You would only have a basic profile. And if there was a job post for a choir director, it wouldn't require the professional specialties needed for ministry like we have. It would have to do with professional specialties that are a part of what the job of being a choir director. That is included in the basic profile. So those positions would not require an ABPS profile. Those positions such as these that do, when in this case Jennifer goes to look at profiles that are active in the search process, she will only get the profiles that have been vetted and verified and either are in the 90-day subscription or in the employ or eLife subscription. I'm going to put a pin in subscriptions for just a second and we will get back to that.
Right.
But yes, so you can go in and update anytime. Absolutely.
So we did have a question about pricing. You'll come back to
I will circle back to
now.
that. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, so with that, is Dr. Murphy going to be designing a new profile for chaplains? You mentioned that, and will we be notified of that?
So I can't go into any specifics because we are just starting that build. And I would say that if you've been through the endorsement, it's going to, just like ABPS, you'll notice that all of the same language is there. All of the same language is going to be there, just like the endorsement. It's just that you'll have the same type of opportunity to be able to update, edit, submit your annual reports, and some of those pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Michael Friday is asking, I can see where I can download my basic profile, but not the main profile.
All right, so right here, if you come up to preview and you click preview, you're gonna get this pop-up box and you can come up here and you'll have the download of the basic and the ABPS. If you're only seeing the basic, it's likely because you have not completed your ABPS or you haven't sent it in for verification or what have you. Same thing with print. So and if there's a question and you're like, yes, I've done that before, maybe just give us a support ticket, send us a support ticket, and we'll get that specifically looked at for you. But let me go ahead here. I'm going to download my ABPS profile, which will of course include my basic, and I'll bring it up here for you. So you just, it's like any other PDF file. And then I'm going to stop share because I'm going to have to reshare here. Let me pull mine up so that you are able to see it. All right, here. All right, so let me go back into Zoom. I got 1,001 screens open and multiple screens looking at it.
A metaphor for modern life.
Oh my goodness, yes,
so the
always,
screen's
right?
open.
We've gotten really good at all
Got
of
our screens open.
I've got usually 4 monitors looking at me on a daily basis. So it's like I've never left television production. that was true then. Let me go find my thing here. There it is. Oh, it should be at least. Before I share some of the other gazillion documents. There's my profile. Share it. There we go. So the first thing you'll see is
Erica, could you make it a little bit larger? Yep.
Absolutely. Let me see how I can make it larger here.
Yeah, great.
Better?
Great.
All right.
Thanks.
So this is the narrative now. So you're able to come in here so you can kind of think of mine is not going to read like a narrative. We are going to add the feature so that you're able to customize what is put right here. So if you don't want any kind of letter formatting, if you just want kind of a call story, you can do that. So this will become editable. But this is where it goes now. So some folks will use this as a cover letter. And then you'll notice now the profile is in what is generally called a resume style. So you'll see that this is now your basic profile. This is the front page. Your links, your personal summary, work history, education, continuing education. They're your ministry specialties. And then on the back is going to be the ABPS profile. So there's your leadership status, your work experience, your church membership, your references, and your raters. And I will go back and show you how that is all done online now. No more waiting on the mailman. Then your work style rating, one thing to just give you a heads up, because some of you will know that there used to be multiple dots. So now all of your work style raters are averaged together. So you represent one and your raters represent the other. So that square is those are your references. And then the green dot is you. And then if you include family information. So that is what it looks like. And we are always looking to, and I would say we are going to continue to make that even formatted prettier and better. We've done a little bit of that, but there's some places that we're going to get even better on. So, and I'm excited about that.
Thank you.
All right.
We have maybe 8-10 minutes left before we turn to closing announcements. So there's the pricing thing to come back to you. Are there other questions?
Talk about that. That's a really good one. So I am going to come over here and I'm going to go back to edit. That's the button you click. To go into the subscriptions, you can come up here and click on the banner, or you can go down to the bottom of any page and click subscription. Both will take you right here. So right now, these are the different types of subscriptions. And the way to think of it is obviously free is free, and you're going to see all of the things that you can do that don't cost you anything. Extend is if you are wanting to add Zoom. So we have a fabulous deal with Zoom where you are able to get, if you do Zoom through us, you can pay either $10 a month or $100 a year, which is $8.33 per month. For the package that if you go to Zoom and you subscribe today, you will pay $19.99 per month for. And you'll only be able to have up to 300 people. For ours, you're able to host up to 500 people at a time for up to 24 hours. Now, I don't know who would want to do a 24-hour Zoom meeting, but you can using your Ministry Life Zoom feature. So that is a really exciting tool. I'm really passionate about making sure that ministry dollars are spent wisely. And so I would just encourage you, if you're paying more for Zoom right now, come on over and we can get you hooked up for less. Also would say if your church administrator needs a Zoom, if your staff needs Zoom, then definitely we can get them a basic profile. We can get them signed up through Ministry Life with Zoom. We'll get into corporate subscriptions in just a minute because most people won't be interested in the corporate side, but as an individual. Now, employ is if you are not in the 90-day free trial and you are interested in applying for positions that require an ABPS profile, it then costs $10 a month or $100 a year. To give you an idea, it costs us per degree to verify your multiple degrees between, on average, $25 to $30 per degree. Like I would say also, most people that have signed up for an employee subscription, by month 3, they are in either one or several serious discussions with churches on next calls. And so we would say to that, if you don't need the subscription, drop it. When you need it, use it. When you don't need it. If you do want to have everything, the whole kitchen sink, then the eLife subscription at $19 a month or $190 a year is the best bet for you. There will be more. There will be some additional different types of subscriptions. And one of the things I am really excited to tease up just a little bit, I will show you what is coming this year. The Center for Continuous Learning is going to be launched, and this is just the start of the platform here that you're looking at. This will be where you can come to take in-person classes, so live, asynchronous, synchronous, hybrid courses, webinars, conference, certifications. We're doing all sorts of different offerings. This is going to be just a really exciting platform. So if you've taken any kind of online education and you've gotten used to using Moodle and some of those other educational tools, we have our own platform for offering those types of classes. And right here, some of you may know Rebecca. She is the director of the new CCL, is what we're calling it, the new Center for Continuous Learning. So you'll be able to access the CCL from Ministry Life, and there will be an announcement about a possible subscription option with that as well. So I can't say a whole lot, but just know that you're to kind of keep your ear to the ground, because we are going to be launching that officially, and it's going to be very, very, very exciting. So we're really
Eric, a couple of
Thank
quick
you.
questions.
Yes.
What about the corporate rates? If I'm
Yes.
interested in organizational, in addition to
Yes.
the
That's a great question. So if you're looking for an organization, or let's say you have a large church staff, then if you have the need for more than 5 or more licenses, so if you were, let's say, going to go get your staff 5 individual subscriptions, instead do it corporate. The cost is the same, but some of the added benefits for the corporate subscription includes that you will be able to advertise per quarter on the platform. So advertising for us takes a couple different forms. One of them, you've may logged on once before and seen a little pop-up letting you know about something that's upcoming. That's the type of advertising. We have a couple different other advertising pieces that you can, including text messaging, that you're able to utilize. So you would just come in here, and you would first, instead of this modify, you would see a button that would ask for you to let us know what your organization is called. And so you would then go in, that would then come to me. I would look at your organization. I would approve your organization. You would then go back in here to whatever plan you were interested in and click it. Just like an individual subscription, it'll give you the sign up for the credit card and all of that. you go through that, and then you will be directed as a corporate subscriber to a page where you can add the other 4 people or licenses. So some people have used it where they've had 3 staff members, and then they had 2 other rooms that were used by the men's Bible study and the youth group and others, and they were able to attach an email address to that account, but then they were able to share that room.
Mm.
So there's a lot of different ways people have utilized that corporate subscription, but that is the corporate side. Again, it will on the per person per month, it's when you do it in the year, it's $8.33.
And would organizations be able to develop curriculum themselves for the Center for Continuous Learning?
Yes, there will be partnership opportunities, and that would be a Rebecca question.
Good. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank
The
you.
Proctor Conference is an example of that. That's already coming on board.
Want to scoop up Michael Friday's question?
Yeah, absolutely.
So unless a paid subscription for Employ is made, churches searching can only access the basic profile, but not the prospective candidate's ABPS full profile.
So remember that one of the things that is not different is that the region still, they are the ones that actually search, not individual churches. So if you are wanting to post a position, then just connect with your region, and then you'll be able to work that out with your region. They will then be able to gather any of those. But the platform is really for, I don't want to say the individual, because that's it, but it's also, it's also partnerships and other pieces like that. But it's not meant for churches to be able to come on and do their own searches and stuff. That's still the relationship that's really vital, is to have those connections with the region, and that they would still do those pieces.
All right, thank you for raising that, Michael. So we have time, I think, for one last simple-ish question, if there is anything here. And maybe Erica, go ahead and put your email, or I could put your email in the
Yes,
chat box. I got it.
absolutely.
It's what is it? I'll type it out.
It's erica.vanbrakel
Mhm.
at abhms.org. And then let's see if I can also grab.
Simple question is, what's for dinner?
Yeah.
We had pizza at our house tonight.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
All right. Well, I've put Erica's email there for direct contact. If you have any follow-up questions, friends, thank you for spending this time with us. And I want to just take a moment to make a couple of wider Ministers Council announcements before we wrap up in a closing prayer, which I'm going to ask Dr. Pat Hernandez to close us in prayer in a moment. Yeah, you're up for it. Want to joyfully say that our small group Lenten prayer and Bible study series is continuing on Tuesdays the next 2 weeks, 8 a.m. Central Time and 6:30 Central Time. Join us for prayer and study. And next month's Ministers Council Live, MC Live webinar will be with Reverend Marcia Bailey, who's recently authored a book on congregational transitions. And so while the book is designed more for congregational leaders than clergy, we thought it would be a rich conversation to talk with our colleague about the book and lean into conversations about the insights she's bringing to our lay colleagues. That'll be April 15th at 7 o'clock Central Time. And then in May, on the third Thursday, which I think is the 20th, Reverend Atula Jamir and myself will lead a conversation regarding our robust and rich chapter life, the things that our Ministers Council chapters are doing across the country, and do some cross-fertilization. Want to call your attention to the most recent newsletter that went out a week or two ago, maybe. If you're not on the newsletter email list, please go to our website, ministerscouncil.com, and subscribe there. In that, and I think a follow-up blurb this week, there was an MC Live survey. We're really reaching out for folks who've attended one or more of these over the last couple of years, maybe folks who haven't attended, very many, and to gather in your feedback as we continue to try to shape this and make it a rich blessing for the wider ministerial family. Thank you again, Erica, for your passion, creativity, connectivity. We're so grateful to be with you tonight and with each other. Pat, would you be willing to close us in prayer?
Sure, I guess that's what happens by turning my video on, huh?
There you go. The prayer is here. Let's pray.
Let us pray. Let's, as we enter into prayer, let's just pause for a moment and breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Gracious God, we come to you, and as we breathe, we're thankful for the breath that we have and the breath that connects us to you. And on this day when yet again too much violence has happened, remind us of the ways in which we can breathe in and breathe out the sacredness of life that you have created and given to each one of us. Help us to embrace the life that you have given to us and the purpose that you have given for us. And help us to regard with respect and dignity each and every other life. We are mindful on this day, especially, of the killings in Georgia. And we're also mindful of our community together and the violence that happens too often and too much. Help us to be good stewards of the gifts that you have given to us. Help us to resist the powers that destroy us and disconnect us from being the people that you've called us to be. Bind us together as your people. Help us to live out our giftedness and to reflect fully your image. Remind us of the gifts that you have given to each one of us as we leave our time together, connected with each other and breathing in and through you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. God's blessings to each one of you. Thank you for being together tonight. God bless.
Amen.
God bless you. Take care now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Erica.